Keep rocking, beat stop rocking.
Ladies and gentlemen, Time Machine exclusive. I have with me on the phone right now Randy Gill of the R&B group To The Extreme. Randy, thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
All right, how you been doing, man?
Hey, man, I can't complain. I'm doing lovely.
All right, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Now, for those of the people that don't know you, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm Randy Gill from the group To The Extreme, Johnny Gill's brother. And, wow, what is, I don't know what else to say about me, but hey, I'm back.
He's back. Now, we're going to get into the basics tonight. Now, tell me, how did you get your start singing?
Start singing in R&B?
Singing in general.
Oh, in general, actually, we started as a gospel group. Johnny and my other, two brothers. It's four of us, actually, and my mom and us. We had a gospel group back in the day, and we started singing, and, grew up in the church, and, then, we still have the church in us, but we went from there, we're into the R&B.
Right. So basically, y'all were at an early age getting your hollering, your shout on, and your grown man vocals on in the church.
Yeah, that's where we developed the growling from.
Yeah, like, yeah. That's my little tip. I ain't gonna go no further. So by y'all singing in church, how did you hook up with To The Extreme?
Wow, you know what? When I think it was back in the day, actually, I wanted to do a band, but I wanted to be a background singer. So I got one of my buddies to just look for some, some buddies for me to that wants to get out there and put a group together. And we actually started putting a band together, and it turned into a group called Nothing But the Truth. But in Nothing But the Truth, I ended up doing lead singing on it. So by doing lead singing and stuff, we actually had a 9-piece band, and we ended up breaking it down to 3-piece. Mm-hmm. And from there, it's like we became To The Extreme. I ended up doing lead singing, and from then on, it's history. We did Cry No More, and it's been going ever since.
Right. And did you guys expect Cry No More to be a big of a hit as it was?
You know what? When we first did it, no, we didn't. We were hoping for success with it, but we didn't expect the success that we've gotten from it. It was something that, was happening at that time, and everybody, loved it because everybody, mostly people that we've talked to were going through things, or some people were using it for wedding songs and, things like that, and it just blew up to where we couldn't believe it.
Right, and you guys were housed on the same record label, Gasoline Alley, which Shy was on when they blew up with If I Ever Fall in Love, and all of that right there. So, how did you feel about you being Johnny's brother when he was making that transition from doing the solo thing the first time around to going into New Edition?
I felt great about it, man. I mean, to me, I felt like a fan, mm-hmm. Because, we've actually been around them actually from their beginning as well as, Johnny's, because they were, they came out around the same time mm-hmm. as ABC, and then Johnny had Super Love, things like that, and then they combined together, and to me, it was a big thing to me.
Yeah, it really was a good match because looking back on it now, Johnny was that missing element that they needed in order to make that mature sound. Because they were at that crossroads in their career where they was like, okay, we can either be a mature R&B group or still stick to the bubblegum pop R&B. Right,
and it did what one of the songs said. It became from boys to men.
And Johnny ripped that record. he ripped it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even though he said behind the music he didn't really want to do it when they was recording it.
No, he didn't like it. It was just a song that he was like, it was okay, but it wasn't something that would allow Johnny to do his thing. And I think because, when they first heard him, they were like, okay, well, they didn't actually hear him. They knew from experience doing a little bit of shows and stuff with him that he could sing, but they didn't know how he could sing. And, until that song, that's when he got his respect.
Right, because prior to him being solo, it was all everybody was like, uh-oh, this kid has such a young age, and how do you market him with such a mature voice?
And it was tough, because people didn't understand how to market it, because when you did listen to him on the radio, you heard this grown, man's voice. But when you got a chance to see him in person, it's like, okay, well, where's the guy with this voice?
Right.
And it was a little boy.
Right.
So, it was hard.
Right. Now, do you get asked to sing a lot of Johnny songs a lot?
You know what? I get asked to sing his My, and stuff like that, because it's like, And it's an honor because what I do, I take it and I make it me. He makes it him, and I makes it me. So which means when I do it, they still hear me, but they hear Johnny as well.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I do it. And, my thing is just like, I'm not afraid of anything. Bring it.
Mm-hmm. Now, who were some of your influences growing up, who you grew up listening to musically?
You know what? My father used to sing before he passed. My mom sung. I also grew up listening to a lot of quartet gospel groups and stuff like that. Of course, I love the Donny Hathaway. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you can't get away from the Stevie Wonders and, things like that. So you listen to them, and it's just, and then a lot of the new artists that are out now, that can blow.
Mm-hmm. Now, who?
Wow, you have what's his name? Why can I think now? Look, my mind is blocked.
Take your time.
Had Charlene.
Okay.
Why can't I think of? You know what? Let's go with Lauryn Hill and all of them. They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's a whole lot of money. Yeah, the Usher can blow.
Mm.
You have singers that mothers that can just kick.
Right.
As well as the ladies, they're ridiculous. You got the Beyoncés and all of them that are ridiculous. You just listen to singing like that because you can relate to it. They're singing from the heart.
Right. So how did it feel for To the Extreme when Cry No More blew up and you guys sounded like all over the place on urban radio and on BET?
It's like a birthday, man. It's like having a birthday. You know how you feel when your birthday comes around and you're like, oh, wow. I mean, this is the greatest feeling in the world. It's a big thing to you. What that felt like it was my birthday to me.
Right.
It was. I was excited. Mm-hmm. And every time I turned on the radio and it was playing, and it went from light rotation to heavy like overnight. Mm-hmm. And then, and I felt special. Actually, I felt real love because, you know that when it blows up like that, it's the fans.
Right.
And to hear it blow up like that, it's like, wow, all these people love us that much to where they had to put it in heavy rotation. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was out of it.
Right. So who actually ended up writing that hit for you guys?
You know what? I wrote some on it, and actually DXtra wrote on it as well. And then we had producers Rick White and Kevin Jackson. We all actually started on Cry No More, and it went from there. And, so we all did a little writing on a lot of our stuff.
Yeah, so everybody pretty much did their fair share.
Yeah,
basically.
Everybody did.
All right, Randy, hold on tight. Right now, we got to go do some PSAs and liners. Then after that, we're going to come back with this interview.
All right.